again, do you know how powerful this is for some elected officials to look over and say, what's Emmer doing? He's getting what? He's getting, oh my goodness, campaign contributions. I need to learn more about what's going on with cryptocurrencies. It's just, it's human nature, and it's good. We need to push them.
Well, we want to help you in that push. So again, thank you for your leadership on this. I think it does have an impact. And look, it's been 2 years, but we're going to keep pushing.
Good.
Hey everybody, how are you guys doing? I know it's a late one, but thanks for joining me once more at Future Trend today. Today is August 20th, and I wasn't prepared for a lot of what happened today, but there's some good news to be shared moving forward. But to be specific, the crypto town hall was held today, and I completely lost track of it until obviously Twitter can always be the fail-safe for everything. Everything you need when it comes to reminders on everything important. So I was rather grateful to be a part of the Cryptic Poets live stream of the town hall, and yeah, it was an eye opener for some people, I'm sure, and for some people, I'm sure it wasn't at all. I'm sure it really wasn't at all. But yeah, just moving on to this specific thumbnail that I managed to crop up here. Well, obviously you guys will see it a little better, but it says, yeah, the Town Hall 2020, the year of the digital asset. It's this particular town hall seems to have been chaired by, I've forgotten what the company was, but they held it over, I think it was CDC actually. They held it over a WebEx live stream, and Congressman Emmer was I like to think, the center of focus, or at least he seemed to be holding, it almost seemed like a borderline audition for the other financial institutions that were represented on the call. But as we see on the right side of this picture here, Mr. Garlinghouse seemed rather unfazed. He didn't really go into depth as to what Ripple did. All he did was introduce Ripple in the shortest form I've ever seen him introduce Ripple. And all he did was sat. He just sat and listened and answered questions. And we'll play a little bit of a few clips actually today, just to touch on what he discussed. But one very important takeaway from the meeting, from the town hall today, was the fact that Congressman Emmer mentioned verbatim that, in his words, he considers, you know what, I'll just let the man say it himself. One moment here while I scroll over here. Okay, so what did you say, Mr. Emmer? Let's just play it out loud for you guys. Okay, did you guys hear that? Okay, let me just back it up. I'm not even certain that this actually played, but let me just confirm. One moment here. So, Mr. Emmer wanted to make it clear what his position was about XRP. I don't even know why he brought up XRP, but obviously Brad is who he was talking to, so it made sense. But I think the whole conversation was about regulatory clarity, and essentially what he wanted to make extremely clear is my position is very clear about XRP. It is not, well, XRP is not, I'm sure this is what this gentleman wanted to say here. XRP is not a security is what he said, verbatim. In his words, according to his understanding of the digital asset. Now, to some extent, I blindly will say I don't know all the details because I'm not a regulator, but I would have to agree with him because I guess my interests are, they rely on that. At least that's what I've been led to believe. I really could care less if it's a security or not. I'm sure if it's a security, I'll follow the right protocol to make sure that I'm handling it and custodying it legally and so on and so forth. So as for the time being, there's no clarity. Well, there's no definitive clarity that it is or it isn't a security. So from my perspective, it is what it is. I'm just going to keep holding until there is clarity. And if it appreciates in the in the process, then yay me and yay everybody else who's holding. So at this rate, it's all the evidence has shown that it will play a very significant role within the digital asset space. And XRP, in my opinion, well, as per what I've been educated on, is not something to be messed with. Let's just say that. And clearly, Congressman Emmer would probably agree with that as well. So it was rather interesting because his campaign for re-election here is actually underway, and he announced that he is accepting his campaign contributions using he's accepting crypto campaign contributions as well. So while on the call, the members who were the speakers in the call were actually making donations after they had finished, just to contribute to his campaign, because I feel, if anything, he's the most vocal about his understanding of the significance of the digital asset space. So it was rather interesting to see them do that. But yeah, as it's stated here, crypto campaign donations is what Mr. Tom Emmer is accepting. But yeah, let me try this one more time actually, because I think I may have actually messed up on the sound, but we'll see here. Just give me a second here. I'm going to play that video one more time and then see where we go. Hopefully you guys can hear this now. Come on.
Brad, thank you so much. It's funny. You said we've moved on past Silk Road. Yeah, it's a long time ago, but there's a lot of members of Congress that still think of this in terms of Silk Road.
Yep.
And
Yep.
when you say over 2 years, first off, my position's very clear. XRP is not a security, all right?
Boom.
Even if you want to do this, you want to have this discussion, the SEC, my frustration.
Sorry. Okay, I'm being immature here. Obviously, it's literally little explosions until we have the Cambrian explosion, as I think it was Chris Larson that mentioned in one of his talks regarding the adoption of XRP and its appreciation. But in all seriousness, it does draw great attention to the space in a healthy way, in a more prudent way, and for the individuals that may very well be stuck in the past when it comes to cryptocurrencies and the bad reputation that Bitcoin essentially tainted the space with during the Silk Road, the infamous Silk Road times. This is promising. This is a step in the right direction towards adoption. And if an individual, I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody in the older demographic, but he's probably the age of my grandfather, if not a little younger, and he understands the value of this space. He understands the value of this market, of this asset class, and he's shown that he's competent in understanding what the long-term implications or the long-term implementation of this particular asset class would be. So he's already made up his mind that he's accepting this as, a form of money, a form of exchange, a form of currency. And that in itself is extremely profound. So I'm just gonna let him play off here and end off his point, and then I'll wrap it up at the end here.
As you probably have heard very directly, you brought up in a very nice way. Maybe you should be doing this job and I should be doing that one, because I'm not going to be so nice.
Yeah.
Over 2 years is not only a problem, it is absolutely unacceptable. Because what this does is
I have my reservations on his statement about 2 years and how that is the reason. I mean, that's an unacceptable time frame for the regulators to make up their mind about the classification of cryptocurrencies and the like. I have my own reservations based on what I've learned so far. But, I guess we're going to play the, it's their job. It's their job to figure it out. I almost feel like the answer is already, it's already like written in the stars. Everybody already knows that, this is the next step. This is the next stage in finance, in global economics. Like, I feel like that's already a universal thing now, but I guess, they have to do their prudent due diligence, and they have to carefully, they have to be careful of how they use their words. And I guess at this rate, being oblivious is the way to go. So I guess 2 years, whatever. I'm just going to let this play.
entrepreneurs like you and everybody else on this town hall you start looking elsewhere. Money will go where it's easiest to flow. And the more the government
Nice.
puts in obstacles, and one of them is just inaction, the less opportunity we have to position the U.S. as the leader. And it's an obstacle to growth. So,
Yeah, well, he has his reasons for saying what he just mentioned, and it only makes sense that he's technically in the room with all the money. Literally all the money, you know, so he needs to be able to kind of show the world, like obviously this is going to be replayed over 1 million times. He needs to be able, paging back in history, we need to be able to track back that someone of his caliber was able to comprehend the gravity of the situation we're in, and borderline convince the rest of his peers that this is the way to go, this is the direction in which the world is going, and the rest of the world is leaving the US behind, so why don't we smarten up, quicken up our efforts and pass favorable laws to adopt this new asset class. That's what I feel this was all about, and it's rather timely. It's almost like another domino after the 22nd of July. I know I keep pressing this OCC approval date, but still, that was a very, very, very integral date. That was a very, very, very important domino to fall, leading to this particular time frame. And then we also had Mr. OCC, Brian Brooks, with that interview with Julia earlier this week. Julia Chatterley from CNN. But yeah, clearly, this was meant to be, and you need some help if you think this is all a coincidence and there's no possible way that this could have been planned or whatever the case may be. I don't know for certain. I'm only assuming, and this is my opinion. I feel like they are doing their best job to make sure that they position themselves accordingly, and if that means waiting for other jurisdictions or countries or nations to take the head start, so be it, as long as they're covering their bases, because at the end of the day, the world currently marches to the beat of the United States of America. And that's simply because they have the world's most popular reserve currency, the US dollar. So we'll see what this year has in store, and I just wanted to bring that up, as obviously that's an item for today that I found exciting. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. But just to touch on a couple other items here that I thought were important, just give me a second here. So yeah, I retweeted that. Guys, don't forget, I went up 2 followers today. 2 extremely exciting and very, very very mind-blowing followers followed me today, and that was for a conversation I'll have with you guys another time, as I'm trying to figure some things out. But yeah, this is an article from CoinDesk, and that the Townhall was announced last week, and it was held in conjunction with the Chamber of Digital Commerce to celebrate innovators in the crypto, I think is what they meant to say here, crypto industry, and to encourage voters to participate in political discourse. And that's just political discussion or dialogue or anything like that that draws attention to the space of the crypto industry, or I like to say the asset class, and its implications moving forward. As you know, that's clearly digital is the way the universe, or at least the world, is going. So I mean, it only makes sense. So anyway, all the best to Congressman Tom Emmer. Hopefully his efforts in convincing the rest of his congressmen and women that this is the way to go, hopefully they go well, and then we can push the whole credibility and legitimacy of the cryptocurrency and digital asset class ahead. Yeah, so that's my take on things. As always, I'm going to go ahead and check what the current prices are at. Not that it really matters at all, because it all comes down to utility, but it's fun to look at this stuff, so oh well. It's gone down a little bit. Actually, it's gone up from earlier today, but it's last I saw it was actually at about 11,800 for Bitcoin and 29 cents for XRP. Ethereum has been dancing around the, I think it's the 405 and 420 range today. I may be wrong. Oh well, I'm not a chart expert. I love the fundamentals more than anything, because I feel they have a long-term, they kind of determine the long-term implications, or the long-term deal. Anyway, whatever. It is what it is. You guys, please like, comment, like if you like this video, comment with any questions you may have. What do you guys think about the particular town hall today? Do you think that was actually as pivotal as I thought it was? And because I'd love to get your take on this as well, as I'm trying to engage with the community as best as I can. And in other, I don't think I have anything else to touch on today, but as always, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified when I make a post. And if you guys are looking to chat, don't hesitate to also reach out to me on Twitter as well, and that is at Future Trend Today, or Future Trend Lou is my handle. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you guys have an excellent rest of your evening and week. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.